I've often said, if you are born poor, it's not your mistake. But if you die poor, it's your mistake. People repeat this quote, but very few understand what I meant when I said it. Let me tell you my story. Not as a billionaire, not as the founder of Microsoft, but as a boy who was once lost, uncertain, and curious about how the world worked. I was born in Seattle, 1955. My father was a lawyer and my mother served on several charity boards. We weren't poor, but we weren't extraordinary either. What made my childhood different was curiosity, a curiosity that often got me into trouble. I remember being at school, bored out of my mind, staring at the teacher and wondering, why should I memorize what's already written in books? Why can't we create something new? Why do we follow systems made by others? I wasn't a genius. I was just obsessed with understanding how things worked. At 13, I saw a computer for the first time. It was huge, slow, and expensive. Most students didn't care much about it. But for me, it was magic. I stayed up nights just to learn how it worked. That machine became my world. I met a boy named Paul Allen. He was older than me, smarter in many ways, and shared the same obsession. Together, we spent hours in the computer lab, not just coding, but dreaming. We imagined a world where computers would become personal, where every home, every desk, every student could own one. That idea sounded insane in the 1970s. Computers were massive and cost thousands of dollars. But we believed it. We didn't just want to make programs, we wanted to make the future. People laughed at us. Teachers said, "Bill, focus on your studies. You'll ruin your life chasing these childish dreams." But I didn't listen, because I knew the future belongs to those who can see it before anyone else. I got into Harvard. For most people, that's the dream. But for me, it felt like a cage. Everyone there wanted to be something safe, a doctor, a lawyer, a banker. I wanted to build something the world hadn't seen. One day, Paul showed me a magazine article about a new computer called the Altair 8800. It was small, affordable, and we realized this was it. This was the moment we had been waiting for. We called the company that made the Altair and told them we had written for their computer. The truth? We hadn't written a single line of code. But we believed we could. And in a few weeks, we did. They loved it. They wanted to buy it. That's when I dropped out of Harvard. Everyone thought I'd lost my mind. My parents were worried. My friends thought it was suicide. But I told them, if I don't take this risk now, I'll regret it forever. Sometimes, you don't need a plan, you need courage. In 1975, Microsoft was born, in a tiny office with no air conditioning, no furniture, and no certainty. Just two kids and a dream that felt bigger than life. We worked day and night. There were times I slept on the office floor. We wrote code till our eyes burned. There was no glamour, no fame, just endless lines of code and an unshakable belief that we were building the future. We made mistakes, many of them, but every mistake was a lesson. Every failure brought us closer to success. I didn't care about money. I cared about creating something meaningful, something that would change how people lived and worked. People look at billionaires and think, they're lucky. But they don't see the nights of doubt. They don't see the fear of losing everything. They don't see the tears, the failures, the pain of being misunderstood. In the early years, Microsoft was struggling. We were just a small company trying to survive against giants like IBM and Apple. We didn't have money. We didn't have power, but we had focus. And focus is more powerful than luck. I remember one night in 1980, I was walking back from the office, exhausted. I looked up at the sky and thought, what if we fail? What if this dream ends tomorrow? And then I realized, Failure didn't scare me. Mediocrity did. I'd rather fail chasing something I love than succeed doing something I hate. When IBM approached us for an operating system, we didn't even have one. But we saw an opportunity and grabbed it. We bought an existing system, modified it, and called it MS-DOS. That deal changed everything. It didn't just make Microsoft successful, it changed the entire computer industry. Suddenly, we weren't just a small company anymore. We were leading a revolution. Every home, every office, every student was now a potential customer. The personal computer era had begun, and we were at its heart. People often ask me, Bill, how does it feel to be the richest man in the world? And I tell them, being rich doesn't make you valuable. Doing something valuable makes you rich. Money is just a tool. It amplifies who you already are. If you're kind, it gives you power to help more. If you're selfish, it makes you more dangerous. I've seen many rich people who are poor in every other way. They have everything, except peace, purpose, and love. So, I learned early, never chase money. Chase meaning. When you do what you love, money will find you. After years of success, I realized something strange. I had everything I ever dreamed of, but something was missing. I looked around and saw millions of people living without clean water, without food, without hope. That's when I understood, success without purpose is the greatest failure of all. So, I stepped down from Microsoft and began focusing on the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Because the world doesn't need more billionaires, it needs more believers. We started working to eradicate diseases, improve education, and fight poverty. I didn't want to be remembered for software. I wanted to be remembered for helping humanity. When I said, if you are born poor, it's not your mistake. But if you die poor, it's your mistake, I didn't mean everyone should be rich in money. I meant, no one should die without using their potential. Poverty is not just lack of money. It's the lack of vision, lack of courage, lack of belief. You can't control where you start, but you can control where you finish. Don't wait for opportunities. Create them. Don't wait for motivation. Discipline yourself. Don't wait for others to believe in you. Believe in yourself first. I was once a boy sitting in a small room, staring at a computer, dreaming of changing the world. No one believed in me. No one thought I'd make it. But I did, not because I was lucky, but because I refused to quit. You might be struggling right now. You might feel like the world doesn't see you. But remember, diamonds are made under pressure. Every obstacle you face is preparing you for something greater. Don't let your circumstances define you. Let your decisions define you. Success is not about what you have, it's about what you create. When I look back today, I don't see billions of dollars. I see billions of moments, moments of learning, failing, and trying again. Life isn't about winning all the time. It's about getting up one more time than you fall. If you are born poor, remember, it's not your mistake. But if you die without using your gifts, without helping others, without believing in yourself, that's your mistake. So dream big, work hard, stay humble, and when you make it, lift others with you. Because in the end, success isn't measured by how much you earn. It's measured by how many lives you touch. I'm Bill Gates, and this is my story.